The minerals powering our green revolution are not just hidden deep within the earth, they are the unsung heroes behind the technologies shaping our future. Extracted through complex and often environmentally challenging processes, these rare earth elements are the backbone of modern innovation. Yet, while they drive clean energy and sustainable solutions, these same minerals are also fueling a new and intensifying global arms race. Their unique properties make them indispensable, not only for peaceful progress, but also for military might. Rare earth elements are essential for the magnets in wind turbines, the batteries in electric vehicles, and the precision guidance systems in advanced weapons. From the quiet hum of an electric car to the roar of a fighter jet, rare earths are everywhere, often invisible, but always vital. This dual-use reality puts these minerals at the heart of a tense global power struggle. Nations are vying for access, control, and security of supply, knowing that whoever dominates rare earths holds a key advantage in both economic and military arenas. The recent US-China trade agreement restored rare earth shipments, highlighting their critical role in both commerce and national defense. Any disruption in this flow could send shockwaves through industries and militaries worldwide. For now, the US must rely on China for these materials, even as it seeks independence. China's dominance in refining and exporting rare earths gives it significant leverage on the world stage. This is not true decoupling, but a strategic pause, buying time to build Western supply chains and invest in domestic processing capabilities. The race is on to reduce reliance and secure a stable, independent supply. The demand for rare earths keeps rising, driven by the explosive growth of green technology and advanced weaponry. This exposes a vulnerability the West is scrambling to fix, as shortages or price spikes could stall progress and weaken defenses. The race to control these building blocks of the 21st century is on, and the stakes are enormous. In this high-stakes contest, rare earths are more than minerals. They are the currency of power, progress, and security in our rapidly changing world. The US-China deal is a temporary fix, not a solution. The US is fast-tracking domestic mining and looking abroad, to places like Ukraine and Greenland, for new sources. Decades of outsourcing left the West dangerously dependent on China for these vital minerals. Now, the US is racing to secure its own supply, acknowledging that supply chain security is a matter of national survival. The era of ignoring resource vulnerabilities is over. The scramble for control has begun. There was a time when the West proudly mined and refined its own rare earth elements, fueling innovation and powering industries from electronics to aerospace. These minerals, though hidden deep within the earth, were once extracted and processed in the United States and Europe, supporting local economies and technological progress. The West's expertise in mining and refining was seen as a cornerstone of industrial strength and national security. But over the years, these operations were gradually shut down. The reasons were complex. Companies sought to cut costs, environmental regulations became stricter, and public pressure mounted to reduce pollution. As a result, many mines and refineries were abandoned, left to decay as the West turned away from the environmental and financial challenges of rare earth production. Meanwhile, China recognized the strategic value of rare earths and moved quickly to fill the gap. The country invested heavily in mining and processing infrastructure, building vast industrial complexes and developing expertise. By the time the West realized what was happening, China had already established dominance over global rare earth processing, using this control as powerful leverage in international trade and diplomatic disputes. This shift in control created a strategic crisis for the West. The rare earth materials essential for green technologies, advanced electronics, and even military hardware were now largely controlled by a geopolitical rival. Western industries found themselves vulnerable, unable to secure reliable supplies for critical sectors. The West's dependency on Chinese rare earths stands as a stark warning about the hidden costs of globalization. What once seemed like a smart economic decision, outsourcing production to save money, has become a major strategic liability, exposing supply chains to disruption and risk. Now Western governments are scrambling to respond. Urgent meetings are being held, old mines are being inspected for possible reopening, and new policies are being drafted to secure critical mineral supplies. The race is on to regain control and reduce vulnerability. The consequences of decades of short-term thinking are now impossible to ignore. The West's loss of its rare earth edge is a lesson in the importance of foresight, resilience, and strategic planning in an interconnected world. Western nations are reigniting mining ambitions to secure critical minerals and reduce reliance on China. Canada is positioning itself as a key supplier, while the EU calls for strategic reserves to prevent future blackmail. Rare earths are now seen as vital for both green tech and defense. The new buzzword is resilience, digging at home, securing projects abroad, and rebuilding lost industrial capacity. The era of assuming global markets would always provide is over. This scramble is about reclaiming control over the building blocks of future prosperity and security. The minerals needed for a net-zero future are now also fueling a global arms race. Green growth and military buildup have merged, blurring the line between peaceful progress and competition. The same rare earths in electric cars power advanced weaponry, complicating the clean energy narrative. This dual-use demand creates a feedback loop. More green tech means more minerals, which also means more military capability. The rush for resources risks sacrificing environmental protection for national security. The promise of sustainability is now entangled with the logic of geopolitical conflict. Rare earth mining comes with a hidden cost. Devastated landscapes, poisoned water, and ecosystems pushed to the brink. Beneath the surface of technological progress lies a story of environmental destruction that is often overlooked. The extraction of these vital minerals leaves scars on the earth, stripping away forests, contaminating rivers, and leaving behind toxic waste that lingers for generations. In China's Baotou region, for example, entire communities suffer from the consequences of mining. Toxic waste ponds stretch for miles, and the air and water are thick with pollutants. Residents face increased rates of illness, and so-called cancer villages have become a tragic symbol of unchecked industrial growth. The global rush for minerals risks repeating the worst mistakes of the industrial past. History is filled with examples of communities and environments sacrificed in the name of progress, leaving behind abandoned factories and poisoned land. Today, without strong oversight and regulation, resource booms can fuel corruption, spark violent conflict, and cause irreversible environmental ruin. Illegal mining operations and unregulated extraction often devastate local ecosystems and displace vulnerable populations. Responsible sourcing and ethical mining must be more than empty promises. They are essential if we hope to avoid creating new sacrifice zones. Certification, community involvement, and strict standards are crucial steps toward a more just and sustainable future. As nations race to secure the minerals needed for green technologies, they must not abandon environmental standards or human rights. The pressure to supply the world's demand cannot come at the expense of people or the planet. The challenge before us is clear. Can we build a greener, more sustainable future without repeating the exploitation and harm of the past? Innovation in mining practices and renewable energy must go hand in hand with respect for nature and communities. True progress demands transparency, justice, and a steadfast commitment to protecting both people and the planet. Only by learning from history and prioritizing ethical action can we ensure that the transition to a green economy benefits everyone, not just a select few.